Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Greetings, friends. I thought I'd give you a little song because I love singing. I hope you're having a great week. We are back with another weekly read aloud with me, Laurie from Wits. Every single week, we got a new book, a new cool book, and a new cool activity for kids about kindergarten through third. And you can find all of the resources, including this video and today's read aloud activity, on our site at witschicago.org. There you will not only find all the stuff that I'm doing, but you will find other members of my team reading other awesome books, and you'll find really engaging literacy activities for all students in elementary age group. So be sure to check that out on our site. This week, we are back with another nonfiction text. It is a photo essay of sorts. That means it's a book full of photos that tell a story from Barbara Kerley. She's the author, as well as National Geographic. She is a photojournalist. That means she takes photos for National Geographic, and she wrote this book called A Cool Drink of Water to teach readers about water all over the world. April 22nd, last week, was Earth Day. And Earth Day is all about celebrating the earth, acknowledging places where we need to make sure that we heal and protect the earth more, and also just really being a good researcher and learner about our natural resources and things that maybe we need to be more careful about taking care of on our planet. So that's why I picked this book, because it teaches us about one of our most important natural resources, water. We all need water to survive. All of our plants that we eat, all the animals that we might eat, all need water as well. We could not survive without it. And this beautiful text explores water and children and families using water all over the world. The reading skill that we're going to be practicing today, though, is inference. This is a beautiful text full of photographs, but guess what? There's not that much words. The author challenged you, reader. It challenges you to look deeply and carefully at each photo and make your own good guesses, your own predictions based on clues about what's happening in the story and maybe why the author chose that photograph. Let me show you what I mean. When you download this week's activity, you will find a graphic organizer, a sheet that looks like this called your inference chart. It looks a little bit different on your computer because I wrote this one, but it'll have all three of these things. The first thing you need to do to make an inference is look carefully at whatever photograph you want to infer about. Check out this photograph as an example. So look closely. What do you see? I see two children in the air above the trampoline, and they're outside with no shoes. I don't really know much else about the photo. I don't know how old they are. I don't see that. I don't see their names. I don't know if they're in America or if they're in another country, but I do see two children that seem to be dressed like how boys in America dressed, children in America dress, and they seem small enough to be children, and they seem to be outside without their shoes on, and they seem to be up in the air, and that's the only thing I see. The second part of your inference is you need to make note of what your schema is. Now, this is tricky. You already wrote down all the things you saw. Now is the time to write down all the things you already know about the subject of the photograph, meaning what is your knowledge about trampolines and kids for this photograph? What did you know about it before you ever even saw this photograph? I know, before I ever even saw this photograph, I knew that trampolines are fun. I wrote down all the things I know. Trampolines are fun toys that kids play with at their home. They are for flipping and jumping high in the air. They're usually in people's backyards at homes, not at schools, because they can be dangerous. And lots of kids love using them because they can go really high, even if sometimes they get hurt. That's what I knew about trampolines and kids who use trampolines before I even read. So that's what my schema was. So I wrote that down. But I already knew about trampolines and how people use them and kids use them. And so finally, I'm going to use what I see. All the things I listed, what I see. I'm going to put it together with all the things I knew. And I'm going to make a guess about what's happening in the photograph. Here's my final inference. I used this plus this equals this. See the arrows? Clue, clue, boom, inference. And you'll do this on your sheet at home as well. And my inference, I infer that these are two brothers playing outside on their trampoline because trampolines are usually found in people's homes. One child is bigger, so I assume he might be an older brother because kids usually play with kids their own age. Otherwise, they play with their siblings or family members. So I'm assuming they're brothers. And since one is smaller based on the picture, I am inferring that the smaller one is just going higher. That's why he's higher in the air, because he is smaller. And his jump is bigger only because he's lighter weight and he's flying up. And based on his facial expression, it looks like they're having a lot of fun. So I used two clues. What I saw in the photograph, what I know before I even saw this picture, before I even saw the text. And I used those two clues to make a good guess about what's happening in the photo. You're going to be doing the same exact thing with the photographs inside this text. Let's begin. A Cool Drink of Water by Barbara Kerley. Remember to look very closely at each photograph so you can be ready to make those inferences. A cool drink of water. Somewhere, right now, someone is drinking water. Scooped from the river. Drawn from a well. Caught as it drips from the roof. Look carefully at this photograph. What do you notice about who's in it? What they're doing? What time of day? What country do you think they're in? How old do you think they are? From fountains? What do you think this man is to this child? Notice how they're holding each other. Notice what he's doing. I wonder where they are. From pumps? This is a water pump. What do you see in this photo? Who's in it? What do you think she's doing? What does your face tell you? I'm noticing already that she looks like she's trying really hard and she looks like she's already wet. And since this is the word pumps, this is like a water pump to me. And it looks like she's still very young, trying to find water from that big pump by herself. This says straight from the tap. The tap is another word for like faucet. Notice all these hands by this tap. A cool drink of water. Stored in the shade. in cool clay pots, chilled in a pitcher of ice. Both these pictures have pitchers. Seems like both of them are talking about cold things. Interesting. In buckets. See, the author doesn't offer a lot of words. You have to look very closely. Who do you think that is? What does she think she's doing with those buckets? Where is she getting that water from? Is it fresh water, you think? Why do you think she's getting that? Brass pots. Who do you think is in this photo? Where are they? What do you notice about the setting? What do you notice about these two people and what's on their head? What do you already know about these places or this area of the world? Plastic jugs, caravan cans, a cool drink of water. That's a lot of jugs. What do you think's happening with all those people behind those jugs? They're full of boxes. Why do you think they showed all these camels and these people? Squeezed from a bottle. A burlap bag. That's what this kind of bag is. What do you think his job is? Notice what he's wearing, how his skin is covered in a substance. Why is water's in the bag? Slipped from a thin tin cup. How old do you think this man is? Why do you think? It says he has a thin tin can, but I'm assuming has water in it based on my schema and what the text says. This is all about water. I'm assuming, I'm inferring that this is all containers of water that they show in these photographs. What does his face tell you? Shared in a family. Who do you think this woman is to this child? What is she doing, you think? What do you think she's from or where she is? It says shared in a family. Interesting, this is shared in a family, but this guy is sharing water with something else. It doesn't seem like maybe family, but perhaps I'm mistaken. I wonder what's going on in there. Over there in the background of his photo. And look, what is this man wearing? On his head, on his face. A cool drink of water. Everyone. Look at those faces. Who are these guys? Everywhere. I wonder why she said that. A nice, cool drink of water. Notice these kids' faces. I'm noticing how wet they are. I wonder why she included these images. And finally, Barbara Kerley was very smart and she made sure that readers understood what all of these images meant. And so she made it a little bit easier for us. And each of these little thumbnail pictures are images from the text we just read, and then underneath it explains a little bit about each one. I'm gonna go through some that you didn't even see perhaps because maybe she didn't include it, or maybe it's in the back of the book. This one is an image of a bunch of water bottle dispensers. That means these are places where you, like a vending machine where you can find water. It's Evian water. In Monaco, it says pocket money can buy a bottle of water anytime, night or day. The need for clean, plentiful drinking water is something people all over the world have in common. This one is at the back of the book. We haven't seen it, and it's St. Petersburg, Florida, USA. With a splash and a smile, 2 kids at a park in St. Petersburg enjoy a nice, cool drink of water. And finally, one we didn't see. This is from Peru. And girls wait in line to wash up and get a quick drink at their school's new water tap. During the Inca Empire, canals were built in Cusco to channel the Huchene and the Tulamayo rivers. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And here is a note about water conservation from the author. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will read the highlights. It says, "We live by the grace of water." Read the caption here. It says, "Water for sale. The commercialization of water," that means making water cost money, "is a trend likely to continue as clean, fresh drinking water becomes scarcer and scarcer as a natural resource." That means it becomes harder and harder to get, and it's being used very fast. So another highlight, it says, "Filthy water cannot be washed." Interesting. So once things are poisoned, this West African proverb means it's hard to get rid of that poison. "When the well's dry, we know the worth of water." Benjamin Franklin. I wonder what he means by that. Are you more thirsty when you have less water? Do you need it more when you're all out? I'm wondering. Water is best of all things. I'm gonna read the last sentence of her last page. "By protecting our water supply and using it wisely, we can ensure that now and in the future, everyone, everywhere, can always enjoy a cool drink of water." Her mom, fearless scholar, and dad who have liked this book. Look at this kid on the water fountain. It looks like he's having fun. Look at that smile. With a splash and a smile, a nice cool drink of water.